Hey, what's up? This is Ivan with the Dream Job CEO YouTube channel, bringing you the best ideas on how to actually find your dream job. And in today's video, what I want to talk about is whether an MBA is worth it. Now, who am I to talk about an MBA school? Well, I actually went to a top tier program, the University of Chicago Booth School of Business, and I have my diploma right behind me. So in this video, I want to share my experience and also talk about the things that you should consider if you want to pursue a business school. So all of that coming right up. All right, so the first thing that I would say is that you have to continue that question and say, is an MBA worth for career change? Is it worth to make more money? Is it worth to expand your network? Is it worth to have your own business? So you have to kind of look at those questions, and there's a different answer for each one of them. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. But main thing is that there isn't one answer for everybody. Now, the other thing that you have to look into is how much it really costs. I mean, an MBA program at a top tier school is worth, I don't know, $100,000+. And if you are planning on going full time, I mean, you have to really account for a lot of other things like your living expenses, food, transportation, everything else that you have to spend your money on while going to school and not working. So you have to really look at the benefits, and then you have to look at how much you have to spend. And I'll talk about the benefits and also some things that you should consider next. So first, I want to cover whether an MBA is worth for a career change. And I would say that based on my own experience, and I've changed my careers, it is absolutely the best thing that you can do to change your careers. Now, why do I say that? And people might disagree with me. They might say that there's other cheaper things that you could do, but here's my experience. I was in the technical field before an MBA school, and I wasn't really passionate about it. I was doing a lot of stuff in IT, and I wanted to get into the business side and really work with strategy, have high-stake meetings when decisions are made at the top level of any company. And so that's how I wanted to get into an MBA school, because an MBA school gives you a number of things that you can learn, but not just learn the topics, because you can learn these topics by going online, taking some online courses, right? It's not really the knowledge piece, but it's working with other people in groups, solving different cases that helps you kind of figure out how to do problem solving at a company level. So I then was able to transition to a business related field. It helped me, it gave me some credibility when I was interviewing for those jobs, and nobody was questioning what kind of experience I had before, because they know that there's a lot of things that you learn in a business school that will help you get into that particular field. Now, the one thing that I would say is that a lot of people get into an MBA school and then they follow the path of what everybody else is doing, which is either management consulting or investment banking. And a lot of times people get into that field and then they leave in 2 to 3 years. So you really have to figure out what kind of career do you want, and you really have to figure out whether that's a career path you can take after an MBA, and if the MBA is absolutely required for that field. For example, if you want to go to strategy, yes, that's definitely a good field. But if you want to go to I don't know, HR, for example, I don't know, if you want to be a recruiter, maybe not, right? So it's not going to hurt you, but again, it's the ROI. You want to spend that money to get into the field that you can try to get into without an MBA. You have to really look at those things. So that's the first question. The second question is an MBA going to help you make more money? And I would say that 90% of the time, maybe 80% of the time, that is absolutely true. An MBA will definitely give you a boost in your salary, whether in the existing industry or in an industry that you get into after an MBA, but it's known to help people, dramatically increase their income in just 1 or 2 years, right? And so for that, my personal experience, that definitely happened, and I know pretty much everybody had a salary boost after an MBA program. And you have to understand that, I mean, it's not an easy 2-3 years of just going to school, right? You have to put a lot of effort into that, and the employers know that. The employers know that your market value is going to skyrocket if you are going to go into an MBA school. So here's the other example where you can make more money, and people can disagree with me on whether the MBA school is really the path to making more money, but you can, if you are passionate about technology, you can become a web developer as an example, and you can make some solid money as a web developer. All right, so here's another thing which is really interesting, and that is, do you need an MBA to have or open your own business? Now, while you do learn some business skills at an MBA school, I think that there are other avenues where you can invest that money that you would pay to an MBA program and realize higher return on your business. For example, business requires really sales and marketing, and you can take some courses on that. You can learn how to do sales funnels online. You can learn how to generate traffic, how to do ads, right? All of that stuff I think is more important to opening a new business, the marketing and sales aspect of it, right? And you can also partner with other people that can do operations or something else. So while the MBA might be worth your time, but investing so much money, I think you can find other ways to invest that money that will help grow your new business. So if you want to become an entrepreneur, I think that there's other things that you can focus on, and in my opinion, an MBA might not be worth to do that. So now let me share my own experience going through an MBA school. What was my thought process, and I'll talk about what happened and some key learnings for me. Now, before I do that, if you like this video, click the like button and consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet. This will really help me grow my channel, and you'll know exactly when I post new content. And I talk about a lot of things in a similar topic. So with that, let me share a little bit about my experience. So I was in the technical field. I was working in consulting, not really management consulting. It was all about IT, helping large corporations with SAP, implementation, things like that. And I wasn't really passionate about it. It was a good job. It was good experience, but for me, honestly, I wanted to do something else. I knew that I had higher potential if I were to do something more on the business side. And so I applied to an MBA school. I went through the whole GMAT preparation. I went through the whole application process, and then I got into an MBA school. And I was super excited, and I met with a lot of great people, and I've made some great friends, and there's a lot of really cool aspects of an MBA program, being in groups, tackling problems in groups. You have the Harvard cases that you solve as part of the groups, and as part of group work. So there's a lot of cool dynamics there. Now, I didn't really learn a lot in terms of knowledge, because I think it's all about learning how to think and doing problem solving versus the actual knowledge, right? You are covering a lot of different aspects, but you don't really dive into each one of them in depth, right? Each class is 10 weeks, right? And it's once or twice per week. So you don't have a chance to really dive in to one of the topics that you're interested in. You can take multiple classes on that topic, but you don't become an expert, right? You just have some general knowledge about it. What happened then is I was going through the recruiting process, and I actually, in the beginning of my MBA program, I wanted to get into management consulting because that's the route everybody takes. And then, I've gone through the interviews, I've done a lot of case prep as part of that process. And then I realized that I didn't actually want to get into management consulting. I had some realization that I wanted to do. I wanted to actually work for a tech company, and that I realized that was my passion. And so after I've networked, applied to different jobs, I had interviews, and honestly, the one thing that I realized as part of those interviews is having a top tier school on your resume is an instant credibility boost. Honestly, when people were saying, "Oh, you went to an MBA school. Oh, you went to Chicago Booth," it gave me some great first impression that I think really helped me, kind of get to where I'm at today. And so I think that whenever I was going through the interview process, it was definitely one of those things that people noticed. And quite frankly, that's probably one of the reasons that I was able to get an interview is through an MBA school. So, that gave me an interview, then I got an offer, I got a job that with the company I'm with right now. And another thing too is right now, as I started working at that company if I introduce myself or if I talk to somebody and they ask what school I went to, and say Chicago Booth, it also gives me an instant credibility boost because people know that it's not easy to get into one of those schools, right? You have to be results oriented, you have to be motivated, you have to go through a lot of different things to actually get into that school. So I would say for me, it's definitely been a great experience. Now, based on my goals, but if I were again considering to open my own business right after school, that money that I spent on that education might have been spent on something else. So again, just to recap, you have to really figure out, what do you want to do? And then is an MBA worth for doing that, right? If you want a career change, again, as I said, it might be a great vehicle to change careers. If you want to, be in a circle of people that are very motivated, very smart, might be a good idea to get an MBA school, but you have to really figure this out on your own, whether that money is going to be worth it and what are your long-term goals. So with that, I wanted to thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. I promise I'll respond to every comment. And if you like the video, hit the like button. It will help with my channel engagement. And then also, if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing and you'll get more content on this topic as well as other topics. If you're looking for a dream job, if you're looking for a career change, I'm here for you. And I'll see you in the next video.